Kevin Spacey, Piers Morgan. I think it's kind of, you know, story was going all over the place. I don't know about you guys. I watched the show. What is that one show that he had on Netflix? What was that?
House of Cards?
House of Cards.
Amazing.
And it's the only one where we're on our way. You know the story. We're on our way to go to Tuscany, Italy. A guy named Carl D. Moss, whom I've never met. We're Facebook buddies. And he claims he's a Republican, but he always gives a Democratic argument. We'd always go back and forth. He said, you got to watch House of Cards. And then my dad says, you got to watch House of Cards. And then eventually, I'm like, guys, I don't watch shows. I've never watched shows. We're about to go to Tuscany, Italy. We're taking 50 of our guys to Tuscany, Italy, which was the most epic trip ever for different reasons. Those who were there know what I'm talking about. Tom, you were there. I won't even get into it.
No comment.
That night, I come home, 10 o'clock. I sit there and I watch 12 episodes of season 1 House of Cards on no sleep. Then I get on a plane to go. I was glued to this show. It was ridiculous. Now, here's Kevin Spacey on Piers Morgan. Rob, which clip is this? Is this the one about Clinton's, or is this the one about him having no money?
Bankruptcy and losing his Baltimore home.
I want you to watch this, and I want you to tell me, do you think this is acting, or do you think this is real? Go ahead, Rob. Vinny.
Sorry. Well, it's funny you asked that question, because this week, where I have been living in Baltimore, is being foreclosed on. My house is being sold at auction.
Really?
So I have to go back to Baltimore and put all my things in storage.
Really?
So the answer to that question is, I'm not quite sure where I'm going to live now, but I've been in Baltimore for since we started shooting House of Cards there.
So how long is that?
I moved there in 2012.
So this has been your home for 12 years?
Well, not this particular place, but this place has been my home and Evan and Lucy's home since 2016.
Why is it being foreclosed?
Because I can't pay the bills that I owe.
Watch this.
Are you facing bankruptcy?
Been a couple of times when I thought I was going to file, but we've managed to sort of dodge it, at least as of today.
How much money do you have?
None.
Really?
Well, I mean, you know, you have some sense of legal bills.
Yeah.
Fucking actor.
I still owe a lot of legal bills that I have not been able to pay.
You're actually in debt?
Yes.
Do you mind me asking how much you owe?
In the millions.
It's considerable.
Millions?
Many millions, yes. The house itself is many millions.
What are you going to do?
Get back on the horse.
You can pause it right there.
Get back on the horse.
Okay, so let me ask you, Tom, do you believe him, or is that an act?
Well, it's hard to believe any celebrity when they go on these apology tours and they go on Oprah and they cry on Oprah, and Tom Cruise jumps up and down on a couch and says he's in love. And when you all sit back from all these episodes, all these things, Vinny, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, of course.
And you see it, and you just doubt the celebrity because they're all professional actors and they're trying to put the spin. The one thing Kevin's opened himself up for, a lot of those things he's talking about are a public filing. And if a multi-million-dollar house in Baltimore with his name on it, or the name of an LLC that he owns it under, that's the way celebrities own homes usually, or a trust, you know, you could, I believe him on that point, because it would be so easy to disprove and go the filing and saying, you're full of crap, you're not being foreclosed on. So I think, are the millions in legal bills? I believe that, but I think there's also some playing it here, because he has a couple other homes. He's got one in New York. He's got one in Malibu, supposedly. So he's got assets. And so he may be asset rich, but cash flow poor, and is deciding to walk on the Baltimore house simply because he can't do it and he's got to pay the legal bills. So I believe about half of it, but I have a hard time with the emotion when celebrities do this.
Vinny, what do you think?
Because there's just so easy to doubt.
I did a video where I'm crying about Red Lobster on my Instagram. And I mean, people were furious because I'm an actor. He is. Let me explain something to you. I've watched House of Cards until they took him on the last season. He's one of the best. And even this is the thing with Hollywood. He's so sick. Even though how many sexual assault, touching. people are like, well, he's so good. People kind of tend to forget. He was making reportedly $500,000 per episode on House of Cards, per episode. He was in for 6 or 7 seasons. He's worth, I think in 2017, at least $100 million. It's acting. I don't know where all this money is going if he's paying off all these people that were, what is this, Robbie? Massimo disappeared on Tumbling House Cards. Star was worth $60 million with the... I think it's an act. I think, especially with this documentary, if you guys haven't seen it. Do you think he is wealthy? I think he is wealthy.
You think he has money?
I think he has. Here's my question to you: $100 million he's made in 2017. What do you think he was doing with that money? Do you think he was just sitting on it?
Where did he live when he made that money? Baltimore?
I think he was in Baltimore.
Okay, so assume half of it is gone. Okay,
let's go 50.
Okay, so then you have 50. Then you're living a lavish lifestyle. You're buying big houses, legal fees. You ain't working. You're spending like money's going to be coming in every single year. Trust me, money goes by very, very quickly. Very quickly. Now, I don't know if he's got zero. I don't know that. But money goes very, very quickly. Adam, what do you think?
Well, Hollywood, pay attention, because your boy, he still got it. I fell for it. I fell for it. I was like, oh, man, Kevin Spacey, he's an actor.
Oh, yeah.
He got me.
Yeah, he's very good.
Apparently that's what actors can do.
But do you think he's acting?
Yeah, well, he's an actor. Okay, I fell for it, guys. Almost like the Russia collusion thing. You got me again. Hollywood, legacy media, you did it again. This guy won Best Actor, the Oscar Academy Award for American Beauty. Best Supporting Actor for...
Verbal Kint.
Usual Suspects. Yeah. Kaiser Soze, Verbal Kint. He was the bad guy in 7. Amazing movie.
Short role, but freaking fantastic. Unbelievable.
House of Cards, LA Confidential. In Horrible Bosses, he played the worst boss ever.
Yep.
I would not be surprised if he put this thing on Piers Morgan on his reel. Hey, Hollywood, your boy still got it. Let me get a job.
Yeah.
The beauty of this guy is... he's obviously a gifted actor. He's obviously talented. Is Hollywood going to accept him back? Because he's the only guy that I can understand, that I can think of, that got Me Too'd by Me Too'ing men, right? Yeah. Everyone that, the Harvey Weinsteins of the world, girls. The Diddy's of the world, the R. Kellys of the world, everything that's going on out there, it's all women. So I don't know. I think there's a little leniency to men. Women are treated a little bit more delicately than dudes.
And I don't feel bad, especially if it's all these guys that came forward and were like, dude, if you watch the documentary, he was cornering guys. He was taking advantage of people. Like, bro, how many cases has he had, especially overseas, where like he's had to go to court and he had to pay? Yeah, he's innocent, but he has to pay in civil lawsuits for these people. But it's like, bro. And I'm sorry, great actor, but to hell with you.
Okay, I want you to watch this next clip.
No,
Rob, play the next clip on him talking about Epstein and Clinton and just watch this here.
In 2015, I started seeing reports online, things on my Twitter account that I had flown to this guy Jeffrey Epstein's island and I had abused young girls. And I was like, I mean, if you'd asked me in 2015, maybe even if you'd asked me in 2002, did I know a guy named Jeffrey Epstein? I probably would have said no. Well, of course, I have since learned who he is, and I have since been able to go back and find out that the airplane that we flew on for this humanitarian mission was owned by Jeffrey Epstein. And to then learn, oh, he was actually on some of those flights. Oh, wow. And this Maxwell woman was on some of those flights. I didn't know him. I've never spent any time with him. I was with the Clinton Foundation people. That's who I was with.
Even worse.
Now, what I understand is that he didn't start to be investigated until 2005 by authorities in Florida. So here's what I can tell you. This Maxwell woman, she was one of many people that sat down next to me in that throne room. I have no relationship with her. I had no relationship with him. I mean, he's not my friend. I'm not a confidant. I've never spent time with him. And interestingly,
actually, you did.
I will say this. I was very fortunate that President Clinton introduced me a lot of business leaders in London because he knew I was coming to the Old Vic. And I developed relationships with Robert Earl, Pula Ladobovich, Robert Earl, a lot of wonderful people, Sir Richard Caring, people who supported the work that we did at the Old Vic and gave money to us. Do you know who I never asked for anything? Was Jeffrey Epstein. I didn't want to be around this guy because I felt he put the president at risk on that trip to South Africa because there were these young girls.
Oh, now
and we were like, who is this guy? So I will say this.
There were young girls on those flights.
There were young girls on those flights, yeah.
Wait.
Oh,
so
wow.
time out. You mean to tell me, Patrick, if you're on somebody's private jet, how big is this private jet? It's a fairly size. You don't know everybody that's on that flight? There's only, 10, 15 people on there? You know the captain, you know the co-pilot, you know the flight attendant, you know everybody. And now all of a sudden, oh, but Bill Clinton, by the way, great company he keeps. Epstein, Clinton Foundation, the Bill Clinton. You're on that plane, and now all of a sudden there's underage girls, and now you feel, so there was a you did know who he was. So he just incriminated himself at the end.
And I love that. I think you're absolutely correct. There's another angle that I think you're going to light up on right here.
Yeah.
In Hollywood, when you're trying to get a deal done. Oh, wait, no, I know that guy. It's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
It's a new friend of mine I made through this guy. Oh, no, I know that guy. We did this thing. I went with him on this trip. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. It's all the BS and all the fluff about everybody's your friend. Everybody's more than an acquaintance. You did some business with them. And now it's like, actually, I was sitting back in 23D and I didn't, maybe this Maxwell lady was sitting next to me. Now it's all this walk back. But this guy has come from a world where you over amplify every little conversation into a friendship or something thing. And I just, it reminds me, you know what this reminds me of? No. Trey Parker did a movie called Team America.
One of my favorites.
And do you remember at the very end of it where all the actors are trying to convince people and they're going to the UN and doing speeches and then the leader goes, "Be careful, Gary. He's acting."
Yeah, of course.
And this is what I feel like we're looking at.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Do you know who this guy Robert Earl is that he keeps mentioning? I just had to Google him real quick. He's actually the founder and CEO of Planet Hollywood. So you talk about the connection to Hollywood and the elite cabal, you like to use that word. Anybody's more connected. He's also the founder of the Earl of Sandwich. If you've ever been in there, great sandwiches. But I don't. Did he say that he wasn't sure he was on the plane?
No, he was on the plane.
Vinny, your life changed pretty well over the last couple of years. You're flying private, baby. So you kind of have some anecdotal evidence. If you're flying private with somebody, you know exactly who's on the jet with you.
Adam,
exactly.
Yeah.
So and if the president is flying private or former president, so it would lead me to believe that he wasn't actually on the same flight as the guy, just the same plane. Does that make sense? Like you're gonna know Bill Clinton or Hillary Clinton is on the plane with you.
No, he said I sat next to Ghislaine.
He said he was.
He said, but I didn't know who she was.
Ghislaine was there, but Jeff was. No, he said Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine was there, but he was on the plane, but I didn't really talk to him. Or the guy owns the plane. You're talking to the owner of the plane,
Gotcha.
especially.
I thought you meant Clinton, but
that's very suspect.
He has a great alibi. He's just like, look, the whole young girls thing. Yeah, I'm into young dudes. Yeah, but it's not my thing.
First of all, do me a favor. Pull up Jeffrey Epstein's plane. Mm-hmm. Because unless if it's a business Boeing jet, you're sitting next to those people if it's a G550. Yeah. A G550, that's a G5. Yeah,
how many seats?
No, you know exactly who's on that plane. Because that only fits 12 or 13. How many people does that fit? Maybe 16 people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Less than 20 for sure.
Yeah, so the point is you're going to know. On a plane like this, there's no way in the world you get on a flight like this and you don't know everybody on the plane or interact with them.
Every single person.
I thought Epstein had a business Boeing jet. That's what I thought.
That's a Lolita.
If he doesn't have a BBJ, then it's a different story. Then you're definitely sitting next to some of the guys. But I mean, look, the reality of it is when he's talking about little girls, there's one thing at least we know that he's not into them because it's little boys. It's not little. Sure. So that's the one thing according to what things you read about. However, do you think if you're Clinton and you're watching that, do you think you'll like that?
Of course not. He just said, Pat, that's the main thing that was in my head. He just said Bill Clinton was on a plane with little girls, underage girls.
Bill is probably calling saying, what are you doing with this? But it's too late. It's already, I think that just indirectly threw Bill under the bus and brought that whole thing back into it again.
But lucky for them, they're so protected. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
nothing's gonna happen.
Well, so you're from the place where You think he still has money.
Yep.
You don't think he's broke.
Nope.
You think he's doing okay.
I think he's doing okay, and he's acting. And this is just the media tour of like, hey guys, come on.
I think two things can be true at once. I think he's putting on a little act, putting on a little show.
I think he lost the house for sure.
Yeah, I mean, how many roles has he done in the last 5 years since everything has come out? How much court costs, legal costs, lawyer fees has he had to pay? I'm sure that he is not doing well cash-wise, or he's struggling, or at the very least, his typical lifestyle is that he's
okay, let me ask this
to
question.
Is not where it
What
was.
do you think's the residual from the movies he's done?
Residuals? Oh,
Just purely residuals.
I'll say
Depends
From
on
American
his deal.
Pie.
Depends
I
on.
mean, he's a big-time player,
$1 million
right?
a year on
That's
residual.
not a lot.
Let's say, I'm saying, can we find out what it is?
I just Googled it right now. It didn't come up. That's not a lot.
Okay.
I'm telling you, that's not a lot.
I just did a low ball number because I get residuals from little shows that I do, and if I was the lead in it, forget it. It's
Yeah,
And, by the way,
but
and he's the
that's not
EP,
a lot.
PBD, and he's the
I don't
EP.
know, but all his best movies, dude, were from like the early 2000s.
Yeah, but he just did House of Cards. So is there a residual on House of Cards?
There has.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Well, think about
How much you think it would be?
I couldn't estimate that, but I'm sniffing what you're looking at, and I think he's probably asset rich and cash poor because it takes money to insure and pay the taxes on those assets. So I think he has the London house, the LA house, the New York apartment. I mean, that could take. I just did a little back of the math here. That could take $15,000 a month just to cover tax roll and things. So that means he needs $30,000 a month. So he needs constant state 360. So I think he's cash poor thanks to his legal fees and everything, but he's got a few assets left and he's got higher interest rates to get any loans against him. So I think he's pinched.
Yeah.
So here I'm looking at this article that's talk about residual checks. So Mandy Moore, I don't know who she is.
She was an actor.
She talks about how she would get 81-cent checks for streaming residuals, and these guys are talking about how small the residuals are. Now, obviously, these are not the level of names of a Kevin Spacey.
Who's mind you, Patrick? He's an actor, lead role, and he's executive producing creator.
Yeah.
Those are all separate checks.
But I look at this like if I'm an insurance producer, or if I'm doing assets under management, or I'm a financial advisor, or any type of someone who does sales. There's your primary income source, which is your actual income, and then there's your residual. So insurance is what, 2%, whatever it may be.
2 to 4%.
Okay, sure, but that's not your $100,000 a month or whatever you're making.
No.
So I look at this like he lost his job, he lost his income, he still has maybe some residuals coming in, but under no circumstances is he as wealthy as what he once was, or is the money coming in what it once was. So when I said two things can be true as once, I think he's kind of acting, but I also think there's some truth to the fact that he's actually going broke.
Yeah.
Save that money.
Well, I mean, look, at the end of the day, we're going to see what's going to happen with this, but he's making his tours. He's going around talking to a lot of different people, and he's probably the biggest Hollywood name that's comfortably sitting down talking to others. I'm not sure if people in the establishment of Hollywood like him doing that, because it's re-bringing up stories of stuff that's already out of the limelight. They're like, hey, stop talking. Just stay put. Don't do these interviews. Why are you sitting there talking to Piers Morgan? Why are you going to these types of things? Why are you talking to Tucker? I think that's what's happening behind closed doors.
The reason is, bottom line is, he doesn't have a choice. Meaning, any other Hollywood actor is doing softball interviews. They're doing Good Morning America. Yeah. Hey, tell us about your new movie, Light and Sunny. No. He's like, dude, I am broke. I'm penniless. Things are a mess right now.
So if you're out there doing your part as a father, picking up your responsibilities, not giving it up to somebody else to do. You wake up every single morning thinking about how to raise better kids, thinking about how to raise better future leaders in the world. I applaud you. I respect you. I want to tell you what we're doing this weekend, Rob. If you want to pull it up, we just launched a new wallet. This is a wallet I've been wearing for almost 6 months. This is the only. I gave up my Fendi wallet. I gave up all the fancy wallets. I wear the Valuetainment wallet. I have it in brown and I have it in black. And this is how it works. You got cash in here. You put it very easy. Your ID here. You pull it out. Credit card comes out. It's very simple. I keep my cards here, my credit cards here. This is all I need. It's leather. Valuetainment officially launched. We have a limited supply. It will sell out just like the numbered hat sold out a couple weeks ago. Anybody for Father's Day that orders one of these wallets gets a free hat, Future Looks Bright hat, for free. So place the order, limited supplies. You place the order brown or black, you get a hat being sent your way as well. If you have a father, you want to gift them something, gift them this wallet with the hat. And if you're married, watching this, to all the ladies watching this, your husband loves the PBD podcast, order them this wallet for Father's Day and get a hat on top of it for free. Rob, they can go to vtmerch.com to see it. And this is where the link is at, Rob. Let's make sure we put the link below as well. And for those of you that are watching the Spotify and Apple, go to vtmerch.com for the entire weekend of Father's Day. This will be there. However, I'm telling you, we don't have a lot of these. This is a few hundred of these wallets that we have. They'll be gone in no time.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.